coming up on 7:59 on your Friday morning drive. Our first trouble spot of the morning in Tualatin, I-5 northbound. Not sure if that's a fender bender or a traffic stop, but something's hanging up the drive right now on the shoulder, and it looks like that northbound right lane is blocked. That's from the perspective of Nyberg, and you can see that the lineup's starting to build back towards the 205 interchange. So with that in mind, the drive in from Wilsonville up a little bit, not bad, but 22 minutes right now gets you in from Wilsonville Road to downtown. Let's get a look at radar because that is getting more active. We've got some showers popping out towards Sandy and down towards Colton and Malala. And in fact, over the last 60 minutes, we've got some lightning strikes out there as well. Let's zoom in a little bit just north of Highway 26. Again, right through the heart of Sandy, we've got a shower there, one through Clackamas County, and that is drifting on off to the north and west. So it's possible that that hangs on long enough to get into the metro area within the next 90 minutes. So that's why we have that shower chance out there this morning. Today then goes on to be a partly sunny, hazy, muggy day with highs in the mid-80s. We'll cool it down a little bit this weekend.
Senator, I didn't politicize ASIP. I depoliticize it. The Congress has been investigating ASIP.
All over the country, Mr. Secretary, scientists and doctors are saying otherwise.
Right now on KGW Plus, a recap of yesterday's Senate hearing with Health and Human Service Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as he is exchanged with Oregon Senator Ron Wyden.
Plus, the start of the school year still on hold in the largest district in Southwest Washington after a group of striking workers rejected the latest contract offer from Evergreen Schools. Then later,
both fires caused tens of millions of dollars worth of damages incurred by the United States.
The U.S. Justice Department is suing a major California utility company alleging its negligence sparked two wildfires, including the deadly Eaton fire near Los Angeles. And later,
the last regret I would ever have is buying this store and marrying that woman.
it's a story about goodbyes and love, mostly about love. Coming up here at 8:45, we're going to highlight a Ridgefield hardware store that's closing its doors after more than 100 years in business. The 8 o'clock hour of Sunrise starts right now.
good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Am I correct in saying that the hardware store coming up at 8:45 is China approved?
Yeah, it's a, aww.
Yeah, the whole time that we were watching that earlier, I heard a lot of that from China.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's sweet.
oh, Chris McGinnis.
I like to spend some. I was going to say, I like to spend some time in the hardware store. I like the smell of a hardware store.
Do you now?
I do.
I like the smell of a meteorologist.
Oh, all right. This is getting so weird.
It's Friday.
And what I mean by that is we're going to go out here over to the east side and show you we've got some shower and thunder shower activity popping up across parts of the metro area, or not the metro, but into the Cascade foothills. And it is beginning to creep north and westward. So let's zoom in. Sandy, you just had a shower pass overhead. That's now working its way on up into East County. So Corbett and maybe Gresham, maybe about to get a little wet here. Down to the south in the Colton area, Beaver Creek, we've got our lightning detection suggesting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lightning strikes with that cell. So again, these are lifting on off to the north and east. It's not surefire that they will hold together to get into the metro area, but they're close. We've got showers out in the gorge out towards Hood River. We've had frequent rounds of showers and some thunder out in the Coast Range as well. Lincoln County, Lincoln City, Newport getting a little bit wet. So there's that shower chance for the first part of our day today. Thereafter, I think we go partly sunny and just kind of sticky for the rest of our Friday with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, humidity creeping up a little bit, so it does feel a little muggy out there this morning. All right, let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. The first trouble spot of our Friday morning commute has been in Tualatin, northbound I-5. There's something going on there on the shoulder, maybe a fender bender or a traffic stop or something, but it is slowing the drive on northbound I-5 right now. That lineup extends back towards I-205. So at last check, the trip in from Wilsonville has ticked up to about 23 minutes at last report. And that's really the only significant, maybe unexpected slow spot for our Friday morning drive. Otherwise, we're in pretty good shape, guys.
All right, thank you, Chris. Top story here in the 8 o'clock hour, the school year still on hold in the largest district in Southwest Washington after a group of striking workers rejected the latest contract offer from Evergreen Schools.
So that means today will be the 8th day of canceled classes for kids and teachers in the district. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson is live outside Evergreen High School in Vancouver with the latest. Corey?
That's right. District leaders say they're dealing with a $26 million shortfall over the next 3 years, and there's only so much that they're able to do. Now, classified workers with Evergreen Public Schools say they don't feel heard. The group includes bus drivers, custodians, and paraeducators. Union leaders say they're pushing for better pay, staff stability, and student safety. On Thursday, the union rejected the district's latest proposal. That offer included a 12.5% increase for paraeducators over 3 years and 9.5% increases for maintenance and service workers for that same time period. Now, district officials say the group could work under the previous agreement while continuing negotiations instead of striking.
A one-time bonus is going to get taxed a lot higher. So even though they're offering $250, it's going to be around maybe $170 one time that we're going to get. That's not what we're looking for.
They keep throwing empty thank yous at us, which aren't even things that we've bargained for at the table at all. Like throwing us stipends as like a thank you isn't anything that we've been negotiating in the first place.
Now, the district says they've been bargaining with the union since March, reaching 35 tentative agreements, but still no overall deal. Drew, China.
Corey, thank you. Meantime, no school again for the La Center School District. Teachers are planning to return to the picket lines today. The union is negotiating with the district on a new contract, with the primary push being for better pay. Both sides were at the bargaining table yesterday, but unclear if they made any progress.
We also have an update for families with kids in the Stevenson-Carson School District. The district is sending kids home 2 hours early today because of the weather forecast. Chris McGinnis will have more on just how hot it will be today coming up here in 5 minutes.
Now to some of your other morning headlines. Washington County detectives say they believe that there may be more victims linked to a man already facing multiple sexual assault and kidnapping charges. In July, sheriff's deputies arrested Drew Hendricks, accusing him of kidnapping a 20-year-old woman and sexually assaulting her at his home. They also believe that he abused an 80-year-old at the same house. In addition to that, Hendricks was recently indicted in Columbia County for sex abuse and kidnapping. The sheriff's office says that Hendricks used to own a motor company in Portland and was subject of numerous complaints over the years, with women often commenting on his, quote, predatory behavior, and was placed under multiple stalking and restraining orders. Since his arrest in July, the sheriff's office says it's received dozens of phone calls and interviewed a lot of people about Hendricks' behavior, so detectives are asking anyone with information to give them a call.
Investigators in Cowlitz County used DNA analysis to identify human remains discovered 4 years ago as those of a Portland man who disappeared 3 decades ago. Anthony Matthew Croy went missing from the Portland area in 1995. In 2021, tree planters found his skull with 2 bullet holes in it near Cougar, Washington. The investigation into his death continues.
Meantime, the man who died at the Burning Man Festival in the Nevada desert was from Tacoma. Police are considering the death of 37-year-old Vadim Kruglov a homicide. Authorities say that he was found in a pool of blood last weekend during the festival's finale. Police say that they interviewed several festival goers but have not announced any arrests. The cause of death is still under investigation.
Police arrested 2 people for allegedly starting a fire at the historic train trestle in Newburgh. Investigators say 2 minors broke into a storage shed at a church back in June. They stole a gas canister that they claim they used to start the fire. So both are being held at this point at the Yamhill County Juvenile Detention Center.
Portland police are launching a new pilot program to deploy drones to some crime scenes before officers even get there. The drones at Portland's East Precinct will be able to fly anywhere within a 2.5-mile radius. Now, this is different from Portland's current drone program, which involves having an officer arrive at the scene, then set up to fly from the scene. Portland Police Chief Bob Day says that this will allow officers to get eyes on an emergency even quicker.
By having the expertise of Sergeant. This is an example of a learning organization. This is an example of maximizing the resources we have available to provide the highest level of safety and security to the community, recognizing the necessary steps we are taking around transparency.
Police say that they understand privacy concerns and emphasize drones will not record while heading to a scene. They also can't enter private property without permission unless there's an emergency.
All right, one of the most important elements on a Friday sunrise show is the weekend forecast. So, Chris, what do you got for
Well, I want to start off with the right now forecast because we have showers and even a couple of rumbles of thunder encroaching on parts of the metro area now. So as we look at radar over the last 60 minutes, you can see the trend here. We've got an area of showers that has worked its way through Sandy, and now it's working its way on up towards, say, Corbett and Troutdale and Gresham. You're about to get clipped by this as it continues working its way to the north and east. Down into Clackamas County, there's a cell that has indicated at least 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 or 8 lightning strikes with this one. And that cell, again, continues lifting on off to the north and northwest. So Beaver Creek, you're next in line, and eventually maybe if it holds together up towards, say, Oregon City. So these are creeping their way north and westward, and we keep pointing this out that modeling has done a terrible job once again this morning of depicting this. But in any event, we've had showers out towards Hood River, some thunder there, a pretty good area, concentrated area of showers now out towards Jefferson County, down towards Bend into Deschutes County and southern Wasco County. And the Central Oregon coast has been having showers and some rumbles of thunder as well. Lincoln City down towards Newport, all of this lifting on off to the north and west. So with that in mind, there's our shower chance here, and maybe even a rumble of thunder between now and about, let's say, 11 o'clock or so in the metro area. Beyond that, I think the remainder of our day then just turns kind of hazy and muggy. It's a little sticky out there. The humidity is a little bit high for Portland standards anyway, and temperatures inching into the upper 80s this afternoon. I've got us topping out at about 86 degrees later today. Cooler with a slight chance of showers on Saturday and Sunday. I say slight chance because it just can't stand here and say it's 0 at this point. There's just enough uncertainty that we could see a sprinkle. But I also want to highlight that Monday and Tuesday of next week, these are likely to be wet days. We're talking maybe a 1/4 inch of rain in that part of our forecast. All right, let's get you out the door with an update on your traffic. And for the weekend, that is actually some pretty cool drone video over the Robertson Tunnel. That is the 3-mile-long tunnel that takes the Max Blue and Red Line through the West Hills. We bring this up because TriMet's doing some maintenance work on that this week. We'll be using shuttle buses to serve stops between the Sunset Transit Center and Providence Park all week. That starts Sunday through the end of the day on Saturday. TriMet says expect delays for folks that ride that part of the line of upwards of 45 minutes riding shuttles. All right, let's get back to the drive right now. I-5 through Tualatin northbound. We've got a crash on the shoulder, it looks like, near the 205 interchange, and that's got traffic running a little slow there. That's really our first freeway trouble spot of the morning, but not bad. Right now, it's taking folks about 23 minutes to get in from Wilsonville north to downtown. Drew, China?
All right, thank you, Chris. Coming up here on Sunrise, we're hearing from a local mom about potential changes to a program that honors the victims of drunk drivers with roadside signs. Her own daughter was killed by a drunk driver. Also coming up here on Sunrise.
It is our intention that Southern California Edison, the company itself, and not the ratepayers, will bear the burden of these costs.
The Justice Department taking on a major California utility company, accusing the company of sparking the deadly Eaton fire near Los Angeles earlier this year. The new lawsuits and the new evidence coming up here on Sunrise.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back to Sunrise. The federal government filed 2 lawsuits yesterday against Social Edison, the primary electric company for most of Southern California.
Prosecutors allege that the company's equipment sparked multiple fires, including January's Eaton fire in the Los Angeles area, which destroyed more than 9,000 structures and killed 17 people. NBC's Liz Kreutz brings us the latest.
8 months since the Eaton fire ravaged parts of East Los Angeles, killing 19 people and destroying more than 9,000 homes, the DOJ accusing one of the state's largest utility companies of starting it.
Southern California Edison negligently failed to properly maintain its power and transmission lines, negligence that had deadly and very costly consequences.
In 2 lawsuits against SoCal Edison, the U.S. government says they're seeking more than $77 million in damages for both the Eaton fire in Altadena and the 2022 Fairview fire in Riverside County, alleging a troubling pattern of negligence. While investigators have not officially ruled on the cause of the Eaton fire, videos like this one have emerged showing flames at the base of an electrical tower in the early minutes of the blaze.
We believe that the evidence is clear, that Edison is at fault. The reason not to wait is because fire season's coming up again. We want Edison to change the way it does business.
In a statement, SoCal Edison responding in part, while the cause of the fire is still under investigation, we will review this lawsuit and respond through the appropriate legal channels. It all comes as firefighters are actively battling dozens of other wildfires across the West, from Washington State, where the Rattlesnake Fire is burning west of Spokane, to California, where crews are gaining ground on multiple brush fires that ignited from a lightning storm outside Yosemite National Park.
Again, that was Liz Kreutz reporting for us this morning as we take this live look at the skies above downtown Portland. I wasn't sure because that banner below is kind of covering. All I see is a lot of sky. I was like, what part of town is that? Okay, There we go. Yep.
Tillicum Crossing down below, the Market Bridge.
Yes.
Daylight on the left. And what's that right in the middle of your screen?
Rain.
Yeah.
Rain.
We do call it a sky cam, so the picture there, primarily the sky.
We benefit from seeing that because that's giving us some ground truth to what radar is showing us. So let me show you what radar is showing me and has been over the last 60 minutes. We're watching showers and even some rumbles of thunder creeping now out of the Cascade foothills and towards the metro area. So at last check, let's zoom in into Multnomah County and northern Clackamas County. So Sandy, you just had a shower pass through. This is now working its way on up towards Troutdale and maybe up towards Wood Village and Gresham. So the eastern part of that area may be getting clipped by this cell as it continues lifting on off to the north and west, which means Camas, if it holds together, you're next in line. All right, let's go down to the south. This cell now working its way out of Clackamas County. Right there. It's actually produced some lightning strikes down around the Colton area, and now we're starting to see some signs that it's inching its way towards Clackamas proper over the next 30 minutes or so. So again, some of these cells are holding together, and modeling has done a terrible job once again today of depicting the overnight thunderstorms. But I'm still going to show you the model anyway because it is doing a good job of picking up what we think is likely to happen later today, which is another round of showers and storms popping this afternoon. Those will again track on off to the north and east. Meanwhile, we'll start to feel a little bit of that marine influence going into the day on Saturday. What does that mean? It means we should drop the humidity just a little bit, or at least the stickiness in the air, and the temperatures will start to drop day by day as we go into the weekend. There is once again an outside chance of some thunderstorms popping tomorrow across central and eastern Oregon. In the meantime, Futurecast still likes temperatures getting into the mid-80s. Despite the cloud cover this morning, I think it winds up being kind of a sticky afternoon. The east scorched warm to hot after what has been a little bit of a stormy morning out towards Hood River and the Dalles. Those storms will continue lifting northward. You will dry out and heat up very quickly. And the eastern part of the state getting well into the 90s, we think, this afternoon. Fast forward into our weekend, and we again drop the temperatures day by day. So Saturday, upper 70s tomorrow. I have shower chance both days because the point is that the weather pattern is a little bit chaotic. We have little pieces of energy that are pushing through the region, and somewhere in western Oregon and in the Willamette Valley, there is at least a non-zero threat for showers. The takeaway here, though, is that we're going to be generally dry, I think, for the weekend. Fast forward into the first part of next week, we're going to be wet. Monday and Tuesday are going to be wet days here. I think we're looking at maybe a 1/4 inch of rain if things pan out, and you know, we need it by that point, so that'll be good. All right, let's get you back to the drive. There is a quick look at your drive times right now. The drive-in from Wilsonville continues ticking upwards a little bit. We're up to about 25 minutes there at last check. This is near the 205 interchange. I'm not sure if that is a disabled vehicle or another fender bender, but this is in the backup. In fact, there goes OSP cruising along there on the left shoulder up to something, which is causing this traffic to divert around that car. So again, we'll keep our eyes on this, but there was a crash scene a little bit farther to the north. This is not the same scene. It's just north of the 205 interchange. So between the two, that is causing some slowing on the roads. That is our first significant slow spot of our Friday morning drive. Drew and China will keep you posted on this.
Thank you, Chris.
It's important that when you see someone's name, that's not just a name, it's a human being.
That woman is talking about Washington's Roadside Memorial Program, which could face some changes soon, why she's worried that people like her daughter will be forgotten.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Officials in Washington are looking to make changes to a program that creates road signs to honor crash victims and remind people not to drink and drive.
KGW's Catherine Cook has more on the potential changes after speaking to a local mom whose daughter was killed by a drunk driver.
She was so happy all the time.
Every day, Lori Shaddix remembers her daughter, Chrissy. 18 years ago, Chrissy and her friend Jessica Blank were driving home to Camas when a drunk, wrong-way driver hit their car on SR 14. Both women were killed. After the crash, Lori and her husband did their best to heal.
I just said, how are we going to do this? And he said, we're going to do it together.
They partnered with the Washington State Department of Transportation to create this, a sign with the girls' names warning people against drunk driving. It's now one of 1,026 roadside memorial signs statewide and one of 26 in Clark County.
It's important that when you see someone's name, that's not just a name, it's a human being.
It's why Lori was surprised to hear that the future of WashDOT's Roadside Memorial Program, including her sign, is up in the air. WashDOT says since they started the program in 1994, it's grown and policies around the signs have changed. Transportation officials say they're looking for consistency and ways to reduce sign overcrowding in some urban areas.
And so the question is really about what are the durations that these signs should be in place. Should we have renewals? And what is that renewal period? And then, what are the different things that we should consider?
To help shape their decisions, WashDOT is asking the public to drop into an online open house to share feedback through October 15th. They'll use it to create an updated program later this year.
And we know that designs are very personal, and that we want to. That's why we really want to hear from them.
To me, removing signs is you're now out of sight, out of mind. It didn't happen. These people are not gone because of bad decisions from someone else. And, you know, what's the use at that point?
Besides the sign, Lori has spent years sharing her daughter's story with convicted drunk drivers and young people. She believes all of it has helped save lives, and she doesn't want that to change.
Probably got an average of like 20 or 30 hugs, and people saying, I had no idea. I just had no idea, and I will never do this again.
In Vancouver, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Now to your morning rush. The U.S. Department of Defense is considering leasing parts of Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton in Southern California for commercial use. So a current and former defense official telling NBC News that the profits from the lease could potentially go towards funding President Donald Trump's Golden Dome missile defense project. The Israeli military is calling up a large portion of its 60,000 reserve troops ahead of its planned takeover of the Gaza Strip. It also extended the service of another 20,000 troops. The military says that they are completing training sessions to prepare for combat in the Strip. And new job numbers show the U.S. labor market is slowing. 22,000 jobs were added in August, below expectations, and unemployment rose to 4.3%, the highest in nearly 4 years. Revisions also show the economy lost jobs back in June, ending one of the longest periods of growth on record. And that's your morning rush.
This critical advisory panel has lost scientific credibility. After years, colleagues, we spend so much time.
Senator, I didn't politicize ASAP. I depoliticized it.
A heated exchange in D.C. between Oregon Senator Ron Wyden and U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Coming up in our next half hour, more on the fireworks during yesterday's Senate committee hearing that had Secretary Kennedy defending his decisions on the CDC and vaccines. Also coming up, a heartfelt goodbye to a Ridgefield hardware store that's been in business for over 100 years. Warning, there will be tears. It's more of a love story than anything else. We'll have it for you at 8:45.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and we hope you've been joining us for The Story each weeknight at 6:30. If you've got a story idea of your own, email us at thestory@kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
this is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Good morning, I'm Drew Carney. Washington County detectives say there may be more victims connected to Drew Hendricks, a man who's already facing sexual assault and kidnapping charges. Hendricks was arrested back in July for allegedly kidnapping and assaulting a 20-year-old woman. All right, Chris McGinnis in the Weather Center for us. What do you have forecast-wise?
Track and radar. Check this out. So over the last 60 minutes or so, cells have been working their way out of the Cascade foothills. It's now raining in Troutdale. This cell just worked its way through the Sandy area a few minutes ago. Now we've got a little shower popping up over Clackamas, and that cell that's now down near Beaver Creek and earlier in the Colton area did produce some lightning, about 6 or 8 lightning strikes with that cell that continues lifting on off to the north and east. Where we're going with all that is that there remains at least the chance of a shower or a rumble of thunder here from about now through about 11 o'clock or so in the metro area. Thereafter, we go into just kind of a hazy, warm, and muggy day today with high temperatures getting into the upper 80s. Your weekend forecast does note the cooling trend with showers likely both Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Good morning. Last weekend in the small town of Etna, Maine, police raced out after reports of a woman screaming for help. But when deputies got there and followed the sound through the woods, they didn't find a crime in progress. Instead, they found Simon, a 1-year-old dwarf goat who's apparently has a lot to say.
Gets you every time.
Every time. You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, boy.
The gift that keeps on giving. His cries were so convincing that neighbors really thought somebody was in danger. Simon's owners say he's spoiled with food and love. When he wants attention, he makes sure everyone knows it. Kind of sounds like me. I totally get it.
You sound like that when you see a spider?
If my husband isn't giving me attention, I'm like, rah!
Oh, that.
And he's
There was a
like,
lot going on in that story. I believe you snorted during the telling at one point during your laughter. Can you deliver the goat?
Allergies.
Can you deliver the goat to be killing me line one more time with like drama and flair on camera here?
What?
You have goat to be killing.
You
me.
have goat. I became
Never
British for
mind.
like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Moving on
Up a little bit.
Sorry.
with the-
You have goat to be kidding me.
Hey, so I want to get a little serious here for a second because we have some showers and some rumbles of thunder rolling towards the metro area right now. This is a look at radar over the last 60 minutes. And we were like, will these cells make it out of the Cascades and into the metro? They are starting to do so. So Troutdale, you're getting wet. Sandy, you just got wet. Barton's getting wet right now. Down towards Clackamas, we've got a cell now right over Clackamas and working its way up through Milwaukee. This will work its way into southeast Portland within the next 15 to 20 minutes. This cell east of Beaver Creek just rolled through the Colton area about 15 minutes ago, and there were some lightning strikes reported. At least our lightning detection did indicate that. So thunder likely in this cell as it continues lifting on up through Clackamas County along Highway 213. So with that in mind, the shower chance, possibly a rumble of thunder in play here for about the next 2 hours or so in Portland. Thereafter, we're kind of in a muggy and hazy sunshine kind of pattern. It's going to be a warm and muggy day today with high temperatures getting into the mid to upper 80s. Cooler weather is in our weekend forecast and definite rain in the early part of next week. We'll look at that in just a minute. But first, I want to get you out the door with our first traffic trouble spot of the morning. It's this in Tualatin. Well, we lost it. That's good. We had a crash there just a couple of minutes ago, and there it is. It's over on the shoulder now, 2 actual crashes. The one that was up near Lower Boones Ferry Road has just cleared, and this one near I-205 has also just cleared to the shoulder. But there's always a residual delay, and at this point, I can show you the traffic cameras. Well, let me go back 1 second here. Door number 3 takes us to the Norwood overpass. You can see there is still some local slowing there. Guys, it also looks like there might be some dampness on the road, another area that might be getting a shower at last check. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Yesterday, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was grilled on Capitol Hill by senators on both sides of the aisle.
Secretary Kennedy had an especially heated exchange with Oregon Senator Ron Wyden. Here's KGW's Amma McCarty with a recap.
On Thursday, it didn't take long before Robert F. Kennedy Jr. clashed with senators during a committee hearing on Capitol Hill.
Under President Trump's leadership, we at HHS are enacting a once-in-a-generation shift from a sick care system to a true health care system that tackles the root causes of chronic disease.
While the health secretary touted this as an achievement, lawmakers pushed back against his actions, from efforts to restrict vaccines to the turmoil at the CDC. Here's Senator Ron Wyden, ranking member of the Senate Finance Committee.
It's been obvious from the start that Robert Kennedy's primary interest is to take vaccines away from Americans. During his confirmation process, he claimed to be pro-safety and pro-science, but his actions reveal a steadfast commitment to elevating junk science and fringe conspiracies.
Strong statements that soon turned into a sparring match between the two. Wyden questioning Kennedy's decision to fire and replace all the members of the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, the panel that develops vaccine recommendations.
This critical advisory panel has lost scientific credibility. After years, colleagues, we spend so much time.
Senator, I didn't politicize ASAP. I depoliticized it. The Congress has been investigating ASAP.
All over the country, Mr. Secretary, scientists and doctors are saying otherwise.
Washington Senator Maria Cantwell bringing up the West Coast states' newly formed Health Alliance, a partnership that will announce its own vaccine guidelines.
You don't want to support that. You don't want to support that evidence. So yes, the governors of the West, Washington, Oregon, and California, will take up the efficacy of science.
Afterward, the president praised RFK for his hearing performance.
If you look at what's going on in the world with health, and look at this country also with regard to health, I like the fact that he's different.
Again, that was Alma McCarty reporting for us this morning. Senator Wyden, by the way, also requested that Secretary Kennedy be formally sworn in as a witness so that yesterday's testimony would be delivered under oath, but the committee chair rejected that request.
And Hawaii is joining Oregon and Washington, California in the Coast Health Alliance. The team up is designed to give states more control over public health guidelines, particularly around vaccines in response to the shakeup at the CDC. The coalition says that it will rely on guidance from national medical associations and be, quote, grounded in science, not ideology.
Portland Mayor Keith Wilson is asking for volunteers and donations to help with 2 new homeless shelters. The mayor also implied that if his plan to end homelessness doesn't work, President Trump could send National Guard troops here to Portland. In a letter to city residents on a mailing list, the mayor wrote about the needs at the new day center over in Old Town and the new overnight shelter in the Pearl District. We reached out to the mayor's office to get some more context and clarity about his call for volunteers, but so far we haven't heard back.
Meantime, Washington's Attorney General is urging the Trump administration to end National Guard deployments in cities across the country. AG Nick Brown called the deployments a, quote, dangerous, illegal, and violation of our founding principles, adding that President Trump is using the Guard to create a military state in American cities and to bolster his image as an authoritarian who can do whatever he wants. Reporters are Tom Homan and Labor Secretary and former Oregon Congresswoman Lori Chavez DeRemer have indicated that Portland could be on the list to receive the National Guard.
The state of Washington says the Trump administration's tariffs could cost the state more than $2 billion over the next 4 years. Now, this new report from the state is all based on projections. Projections that include grocery costs going up an estimated 16% and a loss of 30,000 jobs in the state over the next 4 years. The people behind this report say that agriculture, food processing, and aerospace will be the hardest hit industries. This report was based on the idea of full tariffs staying in effect through the year 2029.
Your time now is 8:37. Headed over to Chris McGinnis for a look at the weather.
Let's give you the look from our Wells Fargo sky camera. Camera pointed off to the south where the rain is moving in from the south. And at last check now, radar actually confirming we've got some showers rolling into Clackamas, Milwaukee, Gladstone. I'll show you that in a second. 64 last check, by the way, at the airport. And when you step outside, it's sticky. The dew point's up to 61, which for Portland standards is a bit on the sticky side. All right, radar over the last 60 minutes here showing some of the showers that we've been watching throughout the morning now, in fact, making their way out of the Cascade foothills and into parts of the metro area. Let's zoom in just a little bit. Troutdale, you're getting a little bit wet. East side of, well, East Portland now. East Portland and out towards Gresham. Some of that rain now falling on your doorstep. southeast Portland. We've got some showers now showing up right over Laurelhurst, and a shower now down towards Milwaukee and Oatfield. And as we go out a little wider down to the south, down towards Beaver Creek, we actually had a couple lightning strikes reported here within the last 30 minutes or so. No indication that we've got lightning in these cells, but previously they did produce some lightning down rolling out of the Cascade foothills. So all of this is to say is that we are in fact seeing these hold together long enough to get us in some cases a little wet this morning. The big perspective across the region showing some showers and some rumbles of thunder rolling through the Oregon Coast Range. Lincoln County's been getting wet, Lincoln City, Newport. We've also had showers out towards the Dalles and Hood River, and a big cluster now across Wasco and Jefferson County and northern Deschutes County. So if this hangs together, I'm not sure that it will, but if it does, this could be rolling into the Cascade foothills in the next 90 minutes to maybe 2 hours. So with that in mind, the shower threat here in Portland through mid-morning, let's say through about 11 o'clock, and there is at least the outside chance we have a rumble of thunder as well. After that, we're going to be kind of cloudy and eventually turning hazy and muggy this afternoon. I've got Portland topping out at about 86. We will stair-step those temperatures down this weekend. The chance of rain's not zero for Saturday and Sunday, but most folks probably remain dry, but there's enough of a chance to mention it. I do want to highlight Monday and Tuesday because those days are going to be wet here, probably on the order of about 1/4 inch of rain between Monday and Tuesday. So some significant rain we think next week as well. All right, let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. Hey, there's the rain. That's I-205 over in the Clackamas area, and it's getting a little bit wet there. That's one of the areas where we saw those showers pushing into the southeastern parts of the metro area. An earlier crash on I-5 out of Tualatin. Looks like that's finally cleared to the shoulder, but it is adding to some local slowing. So that trip getting in from Wilsonville, you can see there, it hits the brakes a little bit northbound as you get up towards the Norwood Road overpass. So right now we're looking at 23 minutes, Wilsonville to downtown. Guys?
Thank you, Mr. Chris.
You always look back at your life and you see, do you have any regrets or anything? The last regret I would ever have is buying this store and marrying that woman.
You could call this the story of a local hardware store, but we're calling it a love story this morning here on the Sunrise Show. After the break, we'll share the details behind the closing of this Ridgefield favorite that's been in business for more than 100 years.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Ridgefield's only hardware store is set to close its doors for good at the end of the month after over 100 years in business.
Devin Haskins talked to the owners about why exactly they're saying goodbye.
At the corner of Pioneer Street and Main Avenue, this building has stood here since 1914. Inside, it's what a small-town hardware store should be.
This is totally a throwback you get from the old days of hardware stores.
Scott Hughes and his wife bought the place in 1999.
You don't have to go into Home Depot and buy 25 screws when you need 3 or 4.
Some things have remained the same, like this original countertop and the scale that once weighed nails and screws.
It was made in 1914. I know it was purchased new for the store at that time.
It has been the only hardware store in town.
Makes it convenient because Home Depot is so far away, so it's easier to come here.
But after 111 years, Scott says it's time to say goodbye.
It's very heartbreaking that they're closing.
It's a business he has loved since he bought it.
You love your job, you never work a day in your life. That's the way this was. You never regretted a Monday having to come into work.
For Scott, this decision to close has been something he's been thinking about for the last 2 years. He says it is time to spend more time with his wife, Kathy.
Oh, she is my dream girl. Excuse me.
For more than 50 years, Scott and Kathy have always been side by side. She started working here when her dad owned the store from 1982 till 1999 when she and Scott took over.
She just loves this community. Born, raised here. She knows everybody.
Over the last decade, Kathy has been battling a disease that over time has required more attention. Now Scott says his place is by her side.
The last 2 years it's been progressing, and this year it's been progressing a little bit more, so that's why I need to spend time with her.
Ridgefield Hardware will close on September 30th.
Yeah.
But for Scott,
yep, and it'll be hard.
The memories inside these walls will never fade.
You always look back at your life and you see, do you have any regrets or anything? The last regret I would ever have is buying this store and marrying that woman.
In Ridgefield, Devin Haskins, KGW News.
All right, your time now is 8:44. We're taking a look at our Timberline sky cam. The snow's melting, but it's gonna be coming back because it's that time of year.
It can snow in September up there.
Yeah.
Occasionally. In fact, I think it wasn't too long ago, like on the first day of fall, we had snow up there, so that'll be a nice sight when it happens. In the meantime, though, we're actually getting rain and thunderstorms now in parts of the metro area. Let me show you radar over the last 60 minutes or so. It is lit up, and we've been tracking these showers for the last couple of hours, and they have, in fact, held together long enough to now work their way out of the foothills and into, well, Troutdale, Fairview, East Portland. Right now, you're getting wet. That cell's working its way on up towards Camas and East Vancouver. We've got a cell right over Laurelhurst, working its way right over the Banfield. That, no doubt, is going to tie up the I-84 commute now over the next couple of minutes, so be aware of that. And down towards Eastmoreland and Milwaukee, a little cell passing over you as well. I haven't seen lightning detected in any of these in the last 30 minutes, but I want to go a little farther. Well, shoot, I lost it. There was some lightning detected as recently as 30 minutes ago with the cells that were working their way out of the Molalla area and up towards Colton on through Clackamas County. So as we look at our sky camera here from our Wells Fargo tower pointed to the south, this is where the weather's moving in from, and it looks like we're starting to see some raindrops maybe off in the distance there. 64, last check at PDX. The plan for today, again, that shower chance, maybe a rumble of thunder embedded for some of us. That's not a surefire thing, but possibly through about 11 o'clock or so. And then as we go into this afternoon, cloud cover should thin. It'll just be a kind of a muggy day, a hazy day, and I think temperatures eventually inch their way back into the mid-80s. Futurecasts are modeling once again, just doing, just not depicting the morning thunderstorms at all. But I want to show it to you anyway because it does show the thunderstorm development again this afternoon along the Cascades. Not much, but some. And the steering currents would possibly drive some of that into the foothills again tonight. The other thing that you see here on Futurecast is the marine push that comes in. That is a sign of the gradual cooling that we're going to experience heading into the weekend. So it'll start to get a little cloudier, maybe even a little drizzly at the coast. Meanwhile, east side tomorrow, once again, Futurecast lighting up with thunderstorms across central and eastern Oregon. Possibility there, of course, with lightning means the possibility of new fire starts in that part of the state. It's going to be hot east side. Today, west side, we're talking probably mid-80s here in Portland. So dialing back the temperature a few degrees from yesterday, we'll dial it back more so this weekend as we go into Saturday and Sunday. I've got us at 78 tomorrow, 77 on Sunday. The shower chance, I have to mention it because it's just not zero, but I think by and large, most of our weekend is going to be dry. Going into next week, Monday, Tuesday, those are certainly going to be wet days on the order of maybe 1/4 of an inch of rain if things work out the way they look right now. All right, let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. I want to pick it up on the east side, one of the areas seeing some rain. Interstate 205 through Clackamas. You can see some rain on the camera lens there. Luckily not impacting the drive too much. We had an earlier trouble spot on the shoulder now. This is I-5 near the 205 interchange. Traffic running a little thick through that part of the freeway system. But all in all, our morning commute has been relatively okay. Heads up this weekend, TriMet starting a maintenance project in the tunnels, the Robertson Tunnel, and that means the blue and red line will be disrupted starting on Sunday. That's a week-long project, guys. They'll be using shuttle buses to serve all stops between the Sunset Transit Center and Providence Park. Drew?
All right, Chris, your traffic report leads into our birthday segment this morning, and we start with Nixon. Good morning, Nixon. Happy birthday to you, celebrating birthday number 8. Kane's up next, the teenager on our list today. Kane is 17 years old today. Happy birthday to Kana. She's next. She's got that special friend with her, helping to celebrate this birthday. We don't know how old she is, but we do know how old Pierre is. He's 36 today. Happy birthday to you, sir. And then lastly but not leastly, another birthday that we don't actually know the number, so we get to guess. You ready for this, Cheryl? Ooh, you think, see, I was going to guess 21 based on the youthful appearance alone, but I see that she also has that wisdom in her eyes behind the glasses. I'm going with 31. We're in the ballpark together there.
Yes.
All right, happy birthday to you, Miss Cheryl. If you have a birthday wish you'd like us to share on the air, just send us an email. It's birthdays@kgw.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Here's a quick recap of some of this morning's top local stories. No school again today in Vancouver's Evergreen School District. That's because a group of striking workers, including paraeducators, bus drivers, and maintenance staff, rejected what the district says was its last contract offer. Kids in the Evergreen District have already missed the first 8 days of the school year. Washington County detectives say there may be more victims connected to this man, Drew Hendricks, who's already facing sexual assault and kidnapping charges. Deputies arrested him in July, allegedly for assaulting and kidnapping a 20-year-old woman. Detectives are hoping that anyone with more information about Hendricks will come forward. Yesterday on Capitol Hill, U.S. senators grilled Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. over his policies and decisions regarding vaccines and the CDC. Oregon Senator Ron Wyden accused him of pushing, quote, junk science. President Trump later praised Kennedy's performance.
Radar over the last 60 minutes showing showers rumbling towards the area. I say rumbling because we did have some lightning reported about 45 minutes ago in those cells as they rolled through Clackamas County. Not to say that we wouldn't hear one now, but it seems that they're diminishing a bit in terms of that. That said, shower threat this morning for the first part of our day, and then hazy and warm this afternoon with a high of 86. There are some of those showers on Interstate 84, luckily not having too big of an impact on the morning commute. Drive times in relatively good shape for this hour of a Friday morning drive.
And here's a look back at some of our favorite moments from the week. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would bet that he's faster than you.
Not at 9, no.
No,
I'll dust this
like
kid.
by far.
No, I'll dust
You say dust?
I will dust this kid.
Oh my God.
How did this become the story? How did this become the story? I will race the young man out front of the station.
Really? Okay. The gauntlet is
Why
down.
not? What do I have to lose?
Your dignity.
All right. Well, what do you want to say to Little John?
What?
What do you want to say to Little John?
Okay.
You don't want to say good morning to Little John?
Yeah. You're not, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Do you know anything about Little John?
That's how he rocks, man.
What are you laughing about? You think you know Little John?
This is legendary.
Wait, is that, you talking about Little John? Is that what you're doing there?
Yeah.
There's a Little John. Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've heard some Little John?
Have a conversation, you two Little John fans. Well, I'm going to ask Rod, do you know how to fill in that blank if I said, I like big what? And I cannot lie. What would you say? Big.
I'm going to go with brownies, man.
That's great. I like big brownies and I cannot lie. Those other brownies can't deny. When a girl walks up and takes that brownie, woo, I go, yeah, huh.
Good luck.
What was that?
I like big brownies. I like a touch of frosting.
You don't even have the tune.
Oh,
I
what's the
like
tune?
big brownies and I cannot
Cannot
lie.
I like big brownies and a touch of frosting. That doesn't really
We
go.
have to end this.
Dancing on the set on the Sunrise Show on a Friday morning. Yeah, Rob was so exhausted after doing all of that fun stuff. He said, I got to take the day off. So
That was kind of painful.
to
A little bit painful. As adorable as Rod was, it was a little painful.
what part was most painful? Because I saw lots of painful parts there.
The part that was painful for me was you tried to go from like that to like, I want to talk about big batteries. Your whole segue that morning was like, what are you doing, Drew?
Wait.
So I think we can pin this whole thing on you.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? Let's just call it a week, shall we?
Yes.
Let's call it a week and let's get ready for the weekend. A big thanks to all of you for watching us here on the Sunrise Show. A reminder, you can watch the program anytime you darn well please. It actually sometimes plays better the second time you watch it. And you can do that right here on KGW Plus throughout the day. It's going to be a great weekend, not because of the weather necessarily, no thanks to the forecast, but simply because
It's Friday.
it's Friday, baby.
Friday.
All right, thanks for watching us. We'll see you back here next week.